Welcome. As I'm sure you guessed from the title, this podcast is an audio version of my blog. There may be an odd blog post that I don't include in the podcast if it just isn't suited for an audio format, but for the most part, the content will be the same, other than some slight tweaks here and there to make it more podcasty. For links to things I reference, make sure to check out the blog post for each episode, which you can find in the show notes. Here's the first post. I figure I should start by explaining why I'm starting this blog and what you can expect. Here's the why. I regularly find myself having things worth sharing, but that aren't necessarily suited for a full article or video. Before now, I've sometimes posted that sort of thing in our Facebook group, but even that isn't the best format for everything I'd like to post. Plus, we all know how hard it can be to find old Facebook posts. A blog just seems like the way to go. Now, what to expect? Currently, I expect that most blog posts will fit into one or the other of these categories. 1. Updates or announcements. Some of my posts will be to update you on changes to the BDSD website and to make announcements regarding things new and noteworthy in the Branch Davidian SDA world. 2. Explanations of evidence and methods. While writing and researching for various projects, there are inevitably things I come across that don't make it into a final article or video. Sometimes the subject just has too much source material to cover everything in an article, and sometimes I come across information that isn't relevant for the project at hand, but which is important nonetheless. As I come across that sort of thing, I'll be able to make a blog post to share it with you and explain what it is and why it matters, etc. Beyond evidence, there is also the issue of methods and just sound reasoning. I may address these issues directly at times or deal with reasoning about some particular subject. The subjects covered in this sort of post will likely include history, philosophy, science, health, and the plethora of subjects under the umbrella of scripture and theology. 3. Resources. Our resources page is reserved for websites that are broad or ongoing resources. But there are also plenty of minor resources out there, like videos, podcasts, articles, etc., that are worth sharing, even if they aren't the sort of thing to keep on a resources page. 4. Advice and recommendations. I am frequently asked for advice on how to go about doing any number of things, whether it is related to health, gaining victory over temptation, how to study, etc. Some of my posts will be to answer to this need, especially in areas that are broadly applicable or about which I'm frequently asked. 5. Hebrew translations. Part of my regular study habit is to translate passages from ancient Hebrew writings. I've been learning Hebrew for several years now, and I'm still taking classes from the Israel Institute of Biblical Studies, accredited by the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. Perhaps one day I'll learn Aramaic and Greek as well, but for now, it's just Hebrew. As I come across interesting things while translating, I'll share them on the blog and in this podcast. If you haven't yet subscribed or followed according to Apple's new terminology, then make sure to do so to get the next episodes.